Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, February the 17th, 2021, and I want to be announcing that our school re-entry plan, it will be different. It won't be the same as before. So we're going to have different varieties and different things, especially when it comes to the school plan and the school openings, is going to be way different than how I will be announcing today. Uh, So first of all, the first thing is that our school opening, it will be starting on um, June 12th, 2021. So it won't be March 20th. So that got changed. It won't be the same as before, like how we had it before. It will be June 12th, 2021, and that's when we're gonna have the school opening. When we're gonna be coming back. The reason I changed my mind because um, now we have the new variant, the one that came, and that will take time for it to leave, and that's not something that will be able to go away for some time or even for some weeks. So it will be taking very long time for that to happen. So that's the reason why I decided to open the school on June 12th, 2021. By then, things should be getting way better by that time. And we will see by that time if things are going to be better or not. And that all depends at the end of the day how we manage the time and how we manage people's life at the end of the day is very important, because people, again, is about responsibility and about the people's lives, and it's very important that sending children back to school on March 20th and we have a new variant is not going to solve the problem. Again, as a government and as a municipal government, it's my job to make sure that students are healthy as much as they can, and making sure that students that that they don't get sick at all from any kind of way, because people's health, people's life at the end of the day is at risk in every way, and it's very important that we have to make sure that people don't get sick in any way, and making sure that they are healthy as much as they can. So that's why this plan that I put forward for June 12th, this is when we're gonna open the schools, and I'm gonna change the Google. I'm gonna change the PowerPoint to Google Classroom, because it has for March 20th, and we're not opening schools March 20th. So that gives you again at least um, uh, 2 months extra, 2 months and a half extra that schools are going to be closed. And again, that's because of the variant now, right? And like again, because if I open things March 20th, I know it's going to be out of control, and I might even have to close the school again. So we don't want that to happen. So I have to make sure that people's health, people's safety, and people's health matters at the end of the day. People die now regularly because of the COVID. There's some people that die because of the vaccine, and the variant now that came in Alberta also. There's a lot of people that die because of it. It's my job as much as I can to make sure that students are safe and they're healthy as much as they can. So that's why I decided to open the schools on June 12th, 2021. So that is seem far away. Uh, I know some parents, they can't wait that long. Some parents, they don't have the time to teach their kids at home. But we have to learn patience, and we have to learn how to be patient as much as we can, because that's what really matters, is making sure that we have that patience and we can handle it for at least for a couple of months, and won't hurt, right? If you're able to wait from last March until now, you can wait until June, but that won't change my mind again. So people thinking this thing will change again and I might push it to September. I'm not. The reason I'm pushing it to June 12th is because it needs more time, and I just don't want my students to be sick. I don't want to be sick myself too as a teacher, because I have to teach. Um, like every course, it goes in a very fast pace, so it's making sure that I do my best and making sure that people show up every day, and that's my goal, right? So at the end of the day, it's very important that people's life is more important than anything that we can talk about at the end of the day. So that's what I'm planning to do, and that's what my job is to do, and making sure that we open the school when it's the right time to open the school, and June 12th is the right time to open it. March 20th is not the right time to open it. So that's what it is. So that's all I have to announce for today. So, and those restrictions are going to be in place on March 20th, but they're not going to be in place on they're going to be placed on June 12th, not March 20th. So So that's when those restrictions are going to be in place. So the re-entry plan is already changed, right? Um, Today you guys supposed to get your unit exam mark back from what we did last week. Last week we did a unit exam right on the first unit. Um, but what I will do is um, I'm not gonna do that, right? I'm gonna wait till you have your quiz mark coming, and that'll be sometime this week, or maybe I'll post it, right? Um, I can tell I can say how good the class average did for the unit exam, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that really did not do well in their unit exam. And the reason that happened is because you guys did not put enough study material and you didn't put enough effort on it. So so the class average is low for the unit exam. It's not high at all. So at the end of the day, it's not something I will be giving back the test. But at the end of the day, it's very important that you make sure that you understand it before you do it, and making sure that you do it well and not just doing any crap, because that's what's really important, is making sure that you understand it before you answer. You just don't answer anything, right? So you guys will have another um, a unit exam again this week, and you're gonna have it tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having another unit exam, okay? Because the unit that we're doing is just 4 units only. Just four topics. It's very short unit, that the one we're gonna be doing today. So I'm gonna be going through it so everybody can understand what needs to be done. But again, I want to see that people really do well in that unit exam, and making sure that you don't just guess any answers, making sure that you do the questions, and making sure that you know what you're doing in the day, because that's what really matters. I want to see my students be successful, right? And especially in the time of pandemic, is making sure that you do well, and making sure that you understand as much as you can, because that's what's really important at the end of the day. So I'm gonna be going through for that topics, and I'm gonna be going through unit 12. It's supposed to be unit 1, right? I'm gonna be talking about phrases. We're gonna have a unit exam this week, right? Tomorrow, right? So that's 2 unit exams. Your exam result is either gonna come today from the past one, and like I said, not a lot of people did well in that exam, so I'm expecting tomorrow's exam you will do way better. And then we're gonna starting on Friday. We're gonna be starting to do clauses and sentence structure, and we're gonna be starting that. There's only going to be unit exams. There won't be quizzes, because there's no point for me giving quizzes and unit exam in the same week. And then next week we're gonna have another unit exam, because this will take maybe by Wednesday. By Wednesday we will have a unit exam, because on Thursday there will be, the next week is a short week. We have Thursday and Friday teachers convention, so there will not be a school next week for Thursday and Friday. So that means I will have to give the unit exam on Wednesday. So you will have a unit exam on Wednesday next week, and you're going to have a unit exam tomorrow for this unit. So this will be 2 units double that will be covered. Is there any questions or not? Okay, now we're going to be starting then the new unit, and we will go through it and making sure that you do understand like what the unit is talking about, and making sure that you know what you're doing. So we're going to be moving on to page 13. So page 13, we're going to start page 13. So because page 13 is the beginning of the page, so we're going to be starting there. So we're going to talk about prepositional phrases, and that's the main topic that we're going to be talking about today, is talking about the prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases is a group of words that begin with a preposition and usually ends with a noun or pronoun called the object of the preposition. So they're going to give you an example. I left before halftime. Halftime is the object of the preposition before. So halftime, it will be it for that sentence. And then prepositions may have more than one subject. object. So they can have more than one object, so they can have more than one meaning when it comes to the prepositions. And that's very important in making sure that you do understand that that's what preposition is, right? It can be more than one meaning in any way, right? So that's what preposition is. So we're gonna go back. So uh, we stopped at the supermarket at the mill. So we stopped at the supermarket at the mill. So that's again a preposition. A prepositional phrase can act as the adjective or adverb. The man on the cover is a prepositional model. Adjective phrase modifying man. So modifying man, it will be the preposition. The model has appeared in many magazines. Adverb phrases modifying has appeared. So modifies has appeared. That's where the preposition phrase is. So that now we're gonna be doing some of them, and I want some people to tell me if that's a prepositional phrase or not. So underline the prepositional phrase in the following sentence. So Langston Hughes was a major poet of the Harlem Renaissance. So where is so you're taking something and you're flipping it around. So Langston Hughes was a major poet of the Harlem Renaissance. So I will say the major poet Harlan was the Renaissance. So Huggy stood out because he tried to incorporate jazz rhythm into his poems. So Huggy stood out because he tried to incorporate. So it will be he stood because he tried to incorporate. That will be the proposition. And then now they're going to look for the sentence. Underline the preposition phrase in each of the following sentences, then write whether each phrase is acting an adjective or adverb. So Pablo Neruda, the great Chilean poet, died at 1973. So um, so the great Choleta died in 1973. So I'll go back to that again. So now we're going to be talking about a positive and a positive phrase. So and a positive is a noun or a pronoun next to another noun or pronoun that identifies or gives additional information about it. Our dog Buck likes to sleep next to the door. So so our dog Buck likes to sleep next to the door. So Buck, it will be the a positive uh, uh, to the door. So he sleeps next to the door. So that will be Buck, right? So and a positive phrase is a positive plus any word that modifies it. The car is a shiny red, uh, comfortable speed pass. So a shiny, it will be the appositive phrase. So here it says underline the appositive phrase of the following, underline the appositive themselves. So the jade plant, a popular house plant, is a hardly and adoptable suitable. So a popular house plant, that will be the appositive phrase. A hardy and adaptable succulent, that will be also a positive phrase. Um, a girl's sister-in-law, Margie, is an attorney. So Marjorie is attorney. That will be the a positive phrase. We enjoyed visiting Wilmsport, a colonial village. So a colonial village, that will be the positive phrase. The actor Harrison Ford has starred in several action films. So the actor Harrison Ford has started in several actors. So the actor Harrison Ford, that will be the positive phrase. Um, Compact discs now have a new musical rival, digital audio tape. So a new music rival, digital audio tapes, that will be the positive phrase. So this is all has to do with a positive phrase. Now we're gonna talk about um, participle and participle phrase. A participle is a verb from that can function as an adjective. The dripping, fallen, kept us awake all night. Dripping modifies the noun. So dripping, it will modify the noun. Present particles always end in ing past. Uh, Particulates often end in ed, but can take other forms as well. So the motorcycle roaring engine shook the window. So roaring the engine, that will be the uh, participle phrase. The muted notes came from the hidden speaker. So the muted notes, that will be the participle phrase. Okay, let's so go on, right? And then we go to a gerund phrase, right? A gerund is a verb form that ends uh, in ing and used in the same way as noun used. So a general phrase is a plus any couple melt modifies bill grace. So you can learn more about that. Identify general and general phrase underlines general phrase is the following sentence. Yavis Saint Laurent business designed clothing because popular 6. So Yavis Lauren business designing, that will be the general phrase. So this is all right. Then the indicative phrase. A verb usually pre-third world. To apologize is not always easy. Intended subject. Eris loved to hunt. So anything that has to do with action. Indicative phrase contains an indicative complement and other modifiers. To have admitted the problem is important. He hoped to save time with shortcuts. So underline in this, the ability to budget time is large part of being a good person. So the ability to budget time, that will be the intended phrase, right? So that will be it. So this is all phrases. This whole thing is talking about phrases, and then we're gonna talk about clauses when we get to the third unit. That will be on Friday. We're gonna talk about this adjective clause, adverb clause, noun clause, for kind sentence. So we're gonna learn about sentence fragment, and off sentence. So we're gonna be learning that stuff, but that'll be in unit 3. That's all for unit 1 talking about so far. Just talking about that and making sure that I understand what's being said in every way. Um, Now I'm gonna be moving on talking um, about our school, right? There will be hand sanitizers for our school. It's very important that school rules are going to be, restrictions are going to be placed on June 12th, like I said already. So it's very important that you make sure that you come on time and making sure that you are ready. So because those restrictions are going to be in place, they're not going to be in place in March 20th, but they are going to be in place in June 2021. So it's very important that people making sure that you really understand uh, that kind of thing um, because those restrictions are going to be in place. Like I said, they're not going to be placed now, but they're going to be in place soon, and they're going to be in place in the time that you guys have to make sure that you understand that those restrictions are real restrictions. They're not going to be like a joke restrictions, right? So that's why I'm saying it's very important that people understand that and not and not joke around, because those restrictions, they're meant to make sure that things are there in place, and making sure that um, that everything is put in place in every way, right? And restrictions are not in place, is going to be a problem. So that's why I'm saying those kind of restrictions, uh, those school restrictions that I put in place is very important that people must follow. If people don't follow, there will be consequences, and those consequences will be is that people are not going to be able to do anything if they don't if those restrictions are serious restrictions, and I did not put them there for fun or for a joke. I put them there for a serious, right? So I expect actually people to follow the rules and to follow the health guidelines and every way to make sure that they follow them and not joke around with it, because it's not nothing for us to joke around with it. It's something that everybody, all of us, we need to take serious about it and making sure. And if you're sick, you don't come to the school, there will be consequences for not coming to the school. So it's very important that you have to make sure that you do your best. That if you're sick and you can't come, then don't bother coming, but don't come and make people sick or make people not well, because again, everybody deserves everybody deserves to be well, and not be sick at all. That's all I'm expecting people to do. And it's very hard. It's not hard what I'm asking for, but please, if you can't do it, then just make sure that uh, because when I open June 12th, there will be consequences for the people who do not follow the health rules and do not follow the health guidelines. And it's very important that people need to follow the health rules and follow the health guidelines. And you have to bring your own supplies, your own pencil case, everything. And I'll be talking about it in the next couple of months, that people need to do the right thing and not joke around with it as much as they can, because there will be consequences if people don't follow the rules, and there will be harsh consequences. I don't want to be putting harsh consequences if, if people just follow the health rules and follow the health guidelines. There will not be harsh consequences, but harsh consequences are going to come for the people that don't really care and they don't see what they're doing is right. Then there will be harsh consequences. It's up to you at the end of the day. What you see fit for yourself, that's what we're gonna be doing, right? So that's what I have for now, right? But also I have other things to talk about. Um, that vaccines are going to be coming hopefully by May to my school. So when those vaccines come by June, it will be ready, because it will take a month, and I have like 36 students here. So it's going to be a very long time. So everybody will have to wait until they take a shot or something is going to happen, because it will take some kind of a time for those vaccines to come. So this kind of thing, it will be not something will be easy, but something that will be taking time for us, and we have to be waiting until that happens, right? So it's making sure uh, that all this has to happen and all this has to be followed in every way, and making sure that you do the right thing as much as you can, and things are going to be okay if people follow the health rules and follow the health guidelines. And like I said, I'm going to be changing the PowerPoint, because that will be confusing people, because that will not help people around, right? So the PowerPoint, I will be confused. Yeah, I will change it, because I don't want anybody to tell me, oh, school's going to open like in less than 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it's not going to open because I changed the date to um, June 12th. So we that date is not it anymore. So people are gonna tell me, okay, I'm waiting for that day to happen, and it won't happen. So that's why I changed the date to June 12th, so people can can have more time. At the same time, people's life is more important at the end of the day. People need to follow the health advice and follow everything, and making sure that we do our best as a government, as a municipal government, to make sure that we keep our students safe, not to make them sick and not making them not well, because that's what comes when it comes to the risky and when it comes to the people's life. So now I'm going to be updating COVID-19. I usually don't do that much, but I'll be doing that now. So COVID-19 update. Okay, so Canada today has 83,001,577 cases have been reported. So that is the active cases that we have in Alberta. So in Canada, we have 1,000, well, 1,000,000, 3,000, no, 13,021,858 people that have COVID. Alberta has no vaccines. That's the vaccines. Alberta has 14,009,138 doses that came to Alberta. British Columbia has 17,175 that came today to British Columbia. Manitoba has 56,707 came in Manitoba. New Brunswick has 21,128 vaccine doses. Newfoundland Labrador has 16,458 vaccine doses. Nova Scotia has 24,049 vaccine doses. Ontario has 14,009,484 vaccine doses. Prince Edward Island has 10,610 vaccine doses. Quebec has 29,009,673 vaccine doses. Saskatchewan has 50,326 vaccine doses. Northwest Territory has 14,157 vaccine doses. And Nunavut has 6,805 vaccine doses. Yukon has 11,514 vaccine doses. And then now these are the cases that we have, right? So the new cases in the last 7 days in Canada, we had 54.7%. So that's not really good. Alberta has 47.6%. And British Columbia has 56.3%. Manitoba has 41.5%. New Brunswick has 5.5%. Newfoundland Labrador has 48.8%. So Nova Scotia has 1.0%. Ontario has 49.2%. Prince Edward Island has 0.0%. Quebec has 75.2%. Saskatchewan has 99.8%. Northwest Territory has 11.1%. Nunavut has 61.1%. Yukon has 4.7%. So these are the percentages that we have in across the country. Canada has minus 14.9%. Those are the hospitalizations in Canada. Alberta has minus 13.3%. British Columbia has 0.4%. Manitoba has minus 9.8%. New Brunswick has 0.0%. Newfoundland Labrador has just a minus nothing. Nova Scotia is the same. Ontario has minus 21.7%. Quebec has minus 16.0%. Saskatchewan has minus 6.1%. Northwest Territory doesn't have none. So there's none. For testing, Canada has 60,009,708 that got tested in Canada. Alberta has 74,140.9 that got tested. British Columbia has 35,122.1 that got tested. Manitoba has 36,875.8 that got tested. New Brunswick has 28,963.4 that got tested. Newfoundland Labrador has 33,252.7 that got tested. Nova Scotia has 31,151.3 that got tested. Ontario has 69,637.8 that got tested. BEI has 60,645.0 that got tested. Quebec has 69,268.3 that got tested. Saskatchewan has 46,263.0 that got tested. Northwest Territory has 29,471.5 that got tested. Nunavut has 20,908.7 that got tested. And Yukon has 18,844.8 that got tested. So these are the cases that we have. I did hospitalization, so things are still not that good. And we still have the new variant in Alberta too on top of that, right? So like I said, things are going to be taking time. For me to open the schools is not going to be priority or doing anything, right? So we are going to have to make sure that people's health is no joke at the end of the day, because as a government, as a municipal government, I'm responsible for my students. If something happens to them, I'm the one who have to do something about it. So it's very important that you make sure as much as you can to make sure that you protect your health. You're making sure that you care for your loved ones, because that's what really important at the end of the day is. And that's what I want people to do as much as they can, is to make sure that you don't take your you don't ever take um, your health as a joke, because I know a lot of people, they how dare they take the health as a joke, and health is no joke. People die every day. We need it, especially this COVID-19. We should learn a lot about it, because a lot of people died because of it, and some people died because of the variant and all that. And again, it's still people today that still saying that I'm not going to be wearing masks, I'm not going to be following the health rules, I'm not doing the right thing, and that's not right. We have to continue doing that, because if we don't, that's the only way we can prevent it. We have vaccine now. Things are out of control now. Things are getting a little bit better. Even the vaccines now, there's misinformation that they say that people that kills people. I don't know if it's true or not. But at the end of the day, we have some misinformation stuff, as we have some normal things to talk about. So at the end of the day, it's very important that people do their best as much as they can. Doesn't matter what, but your health is at risk, and it's very important that you make sure as much as you can. Doesn't matter what, you make sure as much as you can to protect your health, and making sure that you care about your loved ones at the end of the day. Not only you don't want to get it, but also that's why I'm saying when I open schools on June 12th, you guys have to be responsible enough, because you have to show me how responsible you are. If you come to the school and you're sick and you're not well, and you make other people contaminated, I'm going to be forced to close the whole school again, like all the schools. I don't want to do that. So I trust my own students that they're going to be smart enough and they're going to be doing that. Because if they can't, then it's a big problem. Then we're never going to be able to open schools, because responsibility comes once, doesn't come more than once. So you have to do your best as much as you can. Doesn't matter what, you have to do your best as much as you can by doing what's right at the end of the day. Because if you don't, it will be a big issue. And it's not hard what I'm asking. All I'm just saying is people just need to be a little bit responsible and doing what's right at the end of the day. That's what matters. Because, like again, like that can be you. There's people that lost parents, they lost their family member because of their carelessness, because they don't care about their health. They don't see their health is not important, and your health is very important. For you to prevent this COVID is making sure that you stay home. Government law and provincial governments and federal governments, when they tell you stay home, is very important. Restrictions that I put in place for June 12th, those restrictions are like the law. It's like you have to follow those rules. If you don't, then we can have to close those school again, because at the end of the day, your health is at risk at the end of the day, and you have to understand how important the health is, how important you have to make sure that you protect your health and doing what's right at the end of the day. It's not it's not taking it a joke or taking it not serious or whatever, right? Maybe you don't believe this COVID, you think it's a joke, but for the sake for the people and for yourself is to make sure that you do what's right at the end of the day and to do the right thing. I'll provide hand sanitizers and all that, but you guys also, your students, you have to be a little responsible for yourself and bring your own devices, because we're going to be needing devices, especially for English, and it will be whatever. When it comes to sports and presentations, we had presentations last year. We had arts and uh, other fitnesses and activities that were going on in the school. Those are still going to be canceled until things get better. So those are going to be maybe maybe the restrictions are going to be lifted for that on June and on maybe September 13th, 2021. So when school starts in next fall, I'm hoping to lift those restrictions effect. So there's still going to be restrictions that are going to be affected, like art, um, presentation, anything that has to do with school activities are still going to be effective until September 13th. But the only thing that are going to be still not in effect is the school. Yeah, the school will be opening on On June 12th, with the restrictions that already I said, now 5 people are going to be allowed. You're going to have you have to have your own hand sanitizer, your own mask, and all that, right? So all that stuff is still going to be mandatory. Vaccines are going to be mandatory. If you don't have a vaccine to take, you will not be welcome to come to the school. Okay. I know some of the vaccines now, some people don't want to take it because they don't see it safe enough. But if you really want to come to the school and you want to be part of those 5 students, you're going to have to take the vaccine. You're forced to. If you do not take it, then I won't allow you to come. So it's up to you at the end of the day what you decide by June 12th. You have from today until June 12th to think about what your plan you're going to do for the vaccine. And you have to tell me if you're going to be doing, if you're going to be coming to the school June 12th or not. You have to tell me by May that you're not coming or you are coming. So I want to know by May. So May 2021, I want to know by then because we have to prepare at least a month before the school opens. If you don't tell me by time May comes, then I'll take it as you're not planning to come. So um, so that's what it is. So it's very important that um, yeah, some restrictions are not going to be lifted yet, and there's some restrictions are going to be lifted on June 12th. There's no restrictions are lifted until June 12th now. So June 12th is going to be our welcome back to the school, right? And it's going to be making sure we're going to be coming here, we're going to be doing the learning here, and we're just going to have 2 days a week. There's not going to be 5 days or 7 days yet. We will get to that by September or October. But until then, we're just going to have 2 days. So maybe, for example, it's going to be Tuesday and next Tuesday. So it's going to be only once a week that you're going to be coming. So one day in-person learning and 5 days will be online learning. And that will be like that, right? And it's going to only be 5 students. There are not going to be any other students except 5 students that are going to be welcome to the school. That's going to apply on June 12th. It's going to be every Tuesday. I already decided, so June 12th is not really on Tuesday, so I'm going to be moving the date. It's not going to be June 12th. It's going to be, no, actually, it will be June 12th. So June 12th, it will be what day? It will be on Saturday, fine, Saturday. So Saturday will be the first day. Fine. So Saturday, you're going to be coming, and that'll be in June still. School's going to be, so this will be the last quarter, okay? So schools are going to open the last quarter, and that will be end of the last quarter, not beginning of the last quarter, because June will be the last month before the summer comes, right? So I am opening school very late now, right? But but I can't open it now and I can't open it in May because now we have variant, we still things are not settled in Alberta, still numbers are a little bit high, numbers are still getting low, but still I don't still see safe enough to open it yet. Once I feel like it's safe enough, then I'll open it. And that's why June 12th is in a good time because it's summer and I'm hoping maybe by that time the COVID leaves because the heat and all that. So things should be way better by that time, right? That's like after like 2 months. Now we're in February, so after 3 months, right? So it's going to be 3 months of learning and 3 months of online learning until we open the school again, right? But I will change the PowerPoint, and if you have any questions about the reentry of June 12th or the school reentry, you can always email me. You can always let me know. Um, 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 if you have any questions about that, right? Because I'm willing to answer any question that has to do with the re-entry or the school plan or how we're going to open the school or how we're going to tackle people's safety at the end of the day. So it's very important that you make sure that you do that if you have any idea or any suggestion. But your idea and suggestion has to be safe enough for me to take it. I can't just take any advice that does not have to do with unsafety and people taking health risks, right? So that's what we did, right? And when I got elected last October, I promised that's one of the things I will be doing as a government is to make sure that I will open the school when I say safe enough, right? So that's what we will be doing, right? There's some things the school will provide, like I'll provide. There's some things the government will provide, and those things are going to be vaccines and hand sanitizers. But other stuff you are responsible your own. The government is not going to. I'm not going to be providing as a premier uh, uh, vaccines or providing anything that has to. It's your responsibility to make sure you bring your own supplies, your own binder, your own school stuff It's your responsibility. It's not my responsibility to make sure. I'll do my part to help out with that, with the hand sanitizer and stuff, maybe masks too, I'll provide, but everything else is your responsibility. Is that clear? There's going to be some responsibility coming here. And the reason supplies, you're going to have to bring your own and and your own devices is because schools, if I provide you devices and provide you supplies, then imagine I have to clean the devices and I have to clean the supplies, providing it. I'm somebody with germaphobe, right? So there's going to be a lot of cleaning every day, especially when school opens, because the doorknobs, the table, anything guys use still bacteria. So making the school hygiene and clean is very important too, so people don't get the sickness, even if you don't have COVID. Even if you have COVID, you shouldn't be coming to the school and act, because there's a lot of students that did that. And that's what happens when you don't say anything and you come to the school and you have COVID and you don't let the teacher know, you don't let the students know, and then a couple of days later, I have to hear now other students have COVID or you have to self isolate. It's just not crazy. Look, this responsibility comes here. You are responsible too. Like I can be looking after you and see inside of you if you have COVID or not. You're the one who has to speak up and tell me if you have COVID or not. So we know how we're gonna solve the problem at the end of the day. So that's the kind of thing that I'm expecting my own students to have common sense and do on their own. Please do not just hide and not let me know. As a premier, you have to tell me that because I'm responsible, right? If something happens to you guys, I'm responsible. Now, if I open school in March and people get sick, it's gonna be my fault because I'm the one who came up with the idea. So that's why I want to make it, and I want to be elected again. The next election, and that will be 2024. That's far away in 4 years. How much I will be doing, but making sure that you make sure that you do your best as much as you can by protecting your health, by making sure that you follow the health rules and you follow the health guidelines. So that's all I'm gonna be putting it, right. And if people don't follow the health rules, there will be restrictions in the school itself. So there will be like if hand sanitizers, let's say you mess it up and you make it dirty, you're gonna start bringing your own hand sanitizers. So there will be double restrictions are going to be put in place if I don't see if students are acting responsible and they're not acting and cooperating. So responsibility comes. I give people opportunities, but if people abuse the opportunities, there will be consequences because of that. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you don't make me disappointed and making sure that you follow those rules as much as you can, and not joke around with it as much as you can, because I don't want problems. I don't want people to joke around at all with it. Is that clear? Hopefully, what I'm talking about really makes sense at the end of the day. I'm not saying this for a joke or for fun. This is a serious thing that people need to do, right? As a government, we provide things, right? You don't worry about the money spending of the vaccine. You don't worry about the mask because those cost money. The government will deal with it, but you're making sure you do your best as much as you can by protecting your health, right? Because that's your job. Your job, there won't be friends here, there won't be gathering here. I don't want to see none of that June 12th. People are going to be coming to the school, doing their schoolwork. After 2 hours, you're going to leave. You're not going to spend 6 hours doing schoolwork here. No. After 2 hours, you're going to go home. That's it. You're done. That's the goal for June 12th. And I'll be putting more restrictions that are going to be coming for June 12th for people to understand and making sure that they know what they're doing as much as they can. So hopefully what I'm talking about today, it really makes sense, because if it doesn't make sense, I want questions. I want people to ask questions. Not asking questions is part of the thing. I can see it like you don't really understand what I'm talking about. So please, um, please do your best as much as you can. Don't break my heart and don't break. There'll be assistants that are going to help you, because I do need assistance now. I don't need for online learning. I don't need assistance, but there will be real assistants are going to have to help for cleaning and stuff. Because a premier, I'm not gonna be. I'm just really responsible teaching and doing what I can. But there will be other assistants that are going to help, and they're going to be doing that, right? And all that, right? So it's making sure that you do your best as much as you can and not joke around with it as much as you can, because it's really important that people do their best and making sure that they do the right thing at the end of the day, because there is consequences, right, for not following health rules, for not doing what's right. There is consequences at the end of the day. But if people do what they can every day, and they follow the health rules, guess what? We don't have to put restrictions in place. We don't have to do anything in place, right? So that's why I'm saying it's very important. Anyways, that's all I have for today. So make sure you do the rest of the unit, because tomorrow we have our unit exam, and I promise you, either today or tomorrow I will release the mark. If I don't do it tomorrow, I'll do it Friday, but I'm not gonna release it next week, right? Like I said, the first exam, a lot of people didn't do well, but I hope tomorrow's exam, people focus really hard and they do better. Okay, that's all. I didn't even work on the exam. Hopefully tonight I will work on it because it's not ready yet. But tomorrow I'll get ready. And again, it's gonna be on the pro proof. So I'm gonna send the link tomorrow, so you are ready for you to do the unit exam for unit 2. You have your homework right on page 13 all the way to page 17. All has to be done because that's the whole unit. Is that clear? That's your homework for today. And then tomorrow, if we finish already the exam, then we're going to be moving on, starting unit 3 and talking about clauses. And that will be really interesting to start that unit and see how much we know. And tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be doing video or not. We will see, right? But for now, what I was announcing today, that's what's really important, and people need to hear it. Although yesterday I was supposed to announce this, but yesterday didn't work out, so that's why today I said I would do it. So I hope everybody have a great day, and see you tomorrow. And please follow the health rules, follow the health restrictions as much as you can. Please do as much as you can, and do what you can, right? And and if you have any questions about restrictions, I will take questions tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, tomorrow will be the day taking questions about restrictions or anything. So I'm willing to take questions about that. Okay, I hope everybody have a great day and see you tomorrow.